we told you that steez is never in short supply right here on the Morning Brief, just as we've seen it at the Ojude Festival in Ijebu. I mean, we literally held the world spellbound with that festival. And those images really colorful in the pomp, pageantry, the beauty, the raw display of culture in those visuals are really telling. So this morning, we're giving you behind the scenes really of what exactly played out, the essence of it, and how we can transform that into economic benefits. We're joined on the program by the Commissioner for Culture and Tourism in Ogun State, Dr. Sheson Fagbayi, joins us virtually on the show this morning. Good morning, Dr. Fagbayi. Welcome to the Morning Brief.
Yeah, good morning.
Well, what a lot of people are... It's great to have you. What a lot of people are saying about the Ojude Festival is steez, steez, steez. I don't know if you caught that, but speak to us about just what went into Ojude Festival, what the essence of it is all about, and how you're receiving all of that attention, particularly from young people.
Good morning once again, and thanks for having me. And also good morning to Nigerians watching me this morning. My name remains Chief Fagbayi Sheson Abolaji, the Honorable Commissioner for Culture and Tourism in the state. Yeah, to your question, Ojude is a very high-placed festival. And this is the first time I'm attending it, and it beat my imagination. I've been looking at it through through social media. But this year, I was on ground physically to witness, the glamour, the color, and the rich cultural festival. It is an age-long festival, according to history. Close to 200 years, this festival has been in place. And keeping it to this time, I need to give kudos to the Ijebus, that is Ijebu Day, and specifically the Royal Father, Orisha Ijebu, the Paramount ruler himself, for bringing the unity together up to this time. And we cannot remove the fact that it's among the grade one, that's tier one of our festival, cultural festival that the government celebrate annually. And as a Commissioner for Culture, our duty is to protect, promote, propagate, and also defend the culture and heritage of the state. And we are also the custodian of the policies that guide this guide our operation as a Ministry of Culture and Tourism in Ogun State. And I want to give kudos also to the Governor, His Excellency Prince Abiodun, CON, who made it possible for us to be there, and himself throughout the program. And he is a loving governor. He loves his people, right. He loves the state, and he loves the culture of the state dearly. And I can tell you, so passionate about it.
I can tell you that people also love what they saw at the Ojude Festival. I understand that it's sponsored and supported by the Awujale, the people of Ijebu, the individuals and corporate organizations in Nigeria. But the government, of course, provides enabling environment, and that's what people have always asked for. Provide the basics. Let us have the roads, for example, for people to get there. Let us have, the infrastructure. And people will naturally thrive, but we're trying to link this to the economic benefit. So I'd like you to speak to us for the Ojude Festival, this days-long festival. Just how much has it contributed to the economy of Ogun State? Did you have a target, a projection, and did you surpass it by your own calculations?
Like I said, what I witnessed this year, has given me an insight of what this kind of festival can bring, to the benefit or the covers of the government. And right from the extras to the venue, every portion get to, people were displaying wares to sell. And every single hotel in Ijebu, there wasn't any space a day before. And looking back, if all the hotels in Ijebu were fully booked, the eateries were fully occupied, people who sat by the roadside have people in front of them waiting to buy. And by the time we accumulate all this together and people pay their tax to the government, covers definitely the revenue for this month that this festival was held, will be different from what we previously had or what we are expecting, coming up. And because everywhere was fully jam-packed, people trekked from the express miles away, before they get to the venue. And people were selling, roadside sellers, shop sellers, eateries, and name it. And I was impressed, with what I have seen, or with what I saw that day.
All right, Honorable Commissioner. So I'm wondering whether just to piggyback on the question Kayode asked, is there like a metrics for measuring the success of Ojude Oba as far as this is concerned? You mentioned a couple of things, but when the event is organized, I'm sure the organizers have something on their mind. What do they look at or look back at to say, these are the things that we can use to say we really did a great work and this was a great outing?
Well, I wasn't on ground to witness the 2023, but I'm on ground this time around to witness 2024. And I believe with what we had, this is more better and perfect organization than the one of 2023. We as government, we are not really into the committee that organized the program. But after the whole exercise, we will also attend their meeting, their review meeting, which has not been slated now. It is at that point that we'll be able to know how have we done this year, what is the percentage of success this year compared to 2023, so that we can leverage on that to do better, in 2020, come 2025.
So, Honorable Commissioner, perhaps we'll have more time to explore the economic potential of the festival, but let's do a quick touch on history. Perhaps because the current monarch in Ijebuland is one of the longest reigning monarchs since 1960. So some are saying that the root of the Ojude Oba Festival started in 1960 under his watch. But I'd like you to put the history in better context by helping the younger generation to know a bit of when Ojude Oba first started. I believe it's rooted in the development of Islam in that part of the country. So I want you to do the job rather than it coming from this side.
Well, thank you. Thank you once again. Like I said, from what we had, Ojude Oba has been in existence close to 200 years ago. And from what I read, also from the Ojude Oba festival brochure this year, I can see, when it started around about 170-something years ago. But it depends on the king, at a given particular time. Now, when the Baba came in, the current paramount ruler of Ijebuland, he bring in more enthusiasm to it, and he bring in more development to it since he came on throne, and that is why we are seeing it progressing year by year, year by year. And I want to bet you that we cannot have something lesser than this 2023 anymore. We continue to have something greater than this what we had this year. Because anytime anybody gets into that place, the template has been laid, the foundation has been laid, that it will go beyond this level and will go beyond this status. It will continue to progress year by year.
So, we love, again, I just keep saying that we love what we saw from the images and the videos. But I wanted to step back a bit, and it was a point I was making earlier on about government providing an enabling environment, because this is one of the many prospects that Ogun State has, and I can tell you for sure that Ogun State has a lot of, cultural richness, from the outfits to the places to the culture. It's never in short supply. But the question that has still not been able to be answered is the question around infrastructure. So someone wrote that trying to get around, the area, that the destination in Ijebu-Ode was Adeola Odutola College, but the access road from Bobashua roundabout was inaccessible because the road has completely collapsed, and then the Oyingbo, Alapo Street actually, via Oyingbo, was also a mess. And people went on and on about how, yes, we saw very lovely images, but we could have also seen the government do better regarding the road. So I'd like you to speak to what the government is doing.
Well, I want to appreciate you for your observation, and also let you realize that if you drive through Ijebu-Ode, government has really put, road infrastructure in place. I'm not from Ijebu-Ode, but probably the road you are talking of, I might not, have passed the place. But from the express to the venue, there isn't any road that was not, tarred to the venue. And thank God that day, Commissioner for Works is also from Ijebu-Ode, and it was on ground. The road we are talking of, I may not have the knowledge of it because I'm not from that axis, but the road from the express, the roundabout to the venue, perfectly, perfectly tarred road.
Again, and I think this user on X is Odeleke SA that put out that statement, and I'd seen a lot of other people, talking about some other roads, maybe not that major roads you talked about, but some of those roads were blocked, so people had to use alternative roads, and that's why they realized these roads are not good. So obviously work should be done in that area. But I'd like you to speak to the targets of the government, because the essence of this conversation is also to raise awareness, maybe wake other states up, just in case they're not seeing what's playing out, as to how they can leverage on tourism and translate that to economic benefits. So what are the other tourist, attractions that Ogun State has to offer, and just how viable are they right now?
Okay, like I said, even if government have 100% target of repairing all roads across the state, to me and you know that is impossible. No government can come and finish, the road in a state for the space of 8 years. A government will come, do his best, and go. What have you done? What legacy have you, are you leaving behind? Is what matters most. And but for this government has constructed over 600 kilometers since inception of his 5 years in office. If anyone in Ijebu-Ode has not been touched, and I can tell you categorically that several adjoining roads in Ijebu-Ode have been attended to. If one or two has not been attended to now, they should give the governor, His Excellency, Prince Akwabiodun, CON, some time. Like I said, the Commissioner for Works is from Ijebu-Ode. There is no reason why an important road will be left unattended to. The one they are talking of, definitely it will be attended to, but it requires some time. You have 3 senatorial districts, and government is trying to cut across the entire 3 senatorial. It doesn't want to centralize in Ogun East, leaving Ogun West untouched, or leaving Ogun Central. They are distributing these projects evenly across the 3 senatorial districts. They should just be pleased and patient with the government. The road they are talking of will be attended to.
Well, that's not even my question, Honorable Commissioner. I was talking about the other. That was not even my main question. It was about the other tourist attractions in the state. That was what I was talking about. The other tourist attractions in the state, aside Ojude Oba, that we can get economic benefit from. Yeah.
Sorry. And as a Honorable Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, we have close to about 45 or 43, tourist sites in the state. And when I came on board, I took my time. I've not gone around, to visit, few of it across the 3 senatorial districts to, estimate extent of requirements, what they need to do, what we need to put right, how do we need to put it, in a perfect shape. And we have identified few of the low-hanging fruit that we believe as ministry can be able to, put in place for us to, have attention of, the tourists. Well, I won't say categorically that, yes, we can do it all, but there are some of them that we have taken up with the Ministry of Tourism in Abuja, like Biliki Susubo in Djibouti, and Lisa Memorial Arcade. These are the big projects that, has been on our prioritized list today. But the one that state can work on, we have written report on them. We are just about 6-7 months in office. We've written report on them and waiting, to get approval for the one the ministry can take up. We have some low-hanging fruit that we can just pick up and make them better from what, the state they are currently. But we've taken assessment of all this and we've prepared our report and we forwarded to ASHI for ASHI endorsement.
Honorable Commissioner, maybe 2 questions. Let me start with the first one. Beyond the colors and the beautiful display of colors as we saw, how much of unity has this festival brought to the people of Djibouti and the state by extension, which I believe is one of the core success factors that should be considered?
Well, if there is anything to compare the unity of, I would say unity is 100%, cordial. Because if there is no unity, it will be difficult for us to have 89 regbes. These are the clubs, the societies, coming together to display, their attires, and also the horse rides is about 25 horse rides. The unity is incomparable. They are united because every of their sons and daughters in diaspora, they will come home for this, purpose. And that is what they do every year. And for governor, and the former governor, Olusegun Oshoba, was also there, and former governor Gbenga Daniel was also there. You know that this is an event that unites all of us together. People from Ogun West came, from Ogun Central came. This is the festival that unites every one of us together. And we have each of these festivals, this kind of festival in other senatorials, like Orona Day in Yewa, and also Lishabi Day at Alake Palace. And these are the festivals that unite the citizens of Ogun State together. And you can see it in their display that the unity is there, the oneness is there, togetherness is there.
Jeffrey's question is instructive, and I was hoping that you would speak to it earlier, particularly because we know that the festival itself is rooted in the development of Islam in that part of the world where those who converted to Islam came to pay homage to the Awujale, to thank him for allowing them to practice their religion. So I believe, and I want you to speak to it, that it has gone beyond that now and is now a festival that brings together everyone in Ogun State beyond those practicing Islam. And of course, we see all of the pomp and pageantry and the amount of effort that perhaps goes into the planning of the festival. So I'd like you to speak to that, the costume, the horses. Help us understand what goes into the planning of the festival.
Well, on that note, I want to thank, because we have 3 major groups that came together in terms of sponsoring the event. First and foremost, the government, the state government, private sector organizations, and the community itself. That is the Djibouti. And we have likes of GLO, FCMB, Biggie, Nigerian Brewery, Andron Home, Honeywell. These are, the organizations that come together to assist in having a successful hosting of these events. And also the state government, also because you can see the governor himself within the people, we participated heavily in making sure that this event was successful. And coming back to the community themselves, really put so much effort in making sure that, yes, they see that this event was successfully, hosted. And aside that, we have to give it to Ijebu people because they were really united in having this event hosted yearly by year, and it is also very, very highly successful.
Right. As we begin to coast home now, by the way, there's been so much conversation. We're probably going to give you a bill at the end of this, but speak to us about how people have said, I think you've said it as well, Ijebu people are rich, not just in culture, but in the pocket as well. I mean, they don't have the finance in short supply. And people have said, so maybe we can also find another way to maybe get them to contribute that to, investing in the state beyond what it is right now. There's been a lot of investment, absolutely. But is that another conversation you are having? Because there's that there's that stereotype out there that Ijebu people do not give money easily. But is there a conversation happening that, maybe we can bring this money into the state, invest, do other things aside Ojude, but on a lighter note, that is?
Yeah, like I said earlier, that we have about 43 tourist sites in Ogun State. And believe you me, government cannot do it all. We are in talk with some of them. We are in talk with some of the high personalities in Ogun State, to come up and take up some of these sites through PPP, because government is so passionate about having a public-private partnership, handling some of our sites. Because if I tell you that government is going to take up the 43, I'm always sitting here, deceiving myself. But government will take up those one they believe they can take up. And while we are working with unit of PPP in finance department, ministry, to getting people, showing interest, indicating interest on whatever they can take off from us on these tourist sites. We are in talk with them. We are making contact with high personalities of Ogun State citizens abroad.
There you go. Well, no shades, no pun intended for Ijebu people. But I would like to thank you so much, Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Ogun State, Dr. Sheson Fagbayi. We appreciate you, and we look forward to the next Ojude Festival. Who knows? Maybe you can see Jeff with the cap on the horse, with the outfit.
That would be beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. We look forward to it.
Oh, yeah. Now,
all right. Thank you so much, Honorable Commissioner. I wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
I know
you're having me.
Right. I know you're imagining Jeffrey with the cap, with the agbada, the ashoke on the horse. It will fit you.
Yeah,
right?
it will fit me pretty well.
I look forward to
I got married in Edo State, so I had to dress like an Ishan man. I felt very royal, even though I'm not from
Even
royal.
though we'll be looking for Jeffrey in the agbada.
No, it's lovely. I have good shoulders, by the way.
To carry the agbada.
Yeah, fantastic
so
shoulders.
Watch out for Jeffrey next Ojude Festival. Bukola as well as myself.
On my horse, by the way.
We'll take a break now. And when we return, I will turn our attention to softer side. Really, it's been a very long week. You have to give Nigerians some credit. So let's tone it down. And someone joins us from River State. We're not talking about Rivers politics.
Nah.
Well, not fully, not frontally. Another side. But stay with us. It's the Morning Brief.